Hey everybody, we've got a broken rear transmission mount. If you've been watching the videos, this happened on the Canning stock route. If you've missed them, subscribe on 4x4 Diesel and 4x4 Adventures. In the meantime, stay tuned because we're showing you how to replace this and some other problems we've found with the vehicle in the process. Right, so if you've been watching the videos, everybody, so the wire's broken, was it, or did you untwist it?
It was broken.
Was it?
Well, it's in pieces, so.
Oh no, you've untwisted it. No, it's not broken, it's good. So there's 4 pieces. If you're watching the videos, everybody, there was this rope. So Mitch has untied that. Was the rope broken at all? Was that good?
No, it was good.
It's a bit worn through. This is the Bush Mechanics fix that we did out in the middle of the Canning stock route. And we tried the glue thing. You can see that broke away. That didn't work. And I put 4 pieces of wire to hold it down. You happy with your fingers with that, or do you want to get some tools?
No, I'm fine. Fingers
is all right, going all right, okay. So we're going to get rid of that. Now, we've got a new transmission mount there. I'll show you that in a minute. I'll show you the part number, everybody. Can you just stop for a minute, just so I can show them where it broke there? You can see where we tried to glue and it didn't work. Is it broken to that side, or is it still good to go? Still good. You can see there's a lot of flexing been going on from the rough track, but it ain't broken. So there's not a problem with these transmission mounts. It's just a lot of hard use over it's got 494,000 Ks of heavy duty off-road use, outback track conditions, rough tracks, and we'll call it almost abuse. The vehicle's been very well looked after, but it's been heavily used. So we've got a new mount, looks pretty easy to change. There's only a few nuts and bolts. But what we're going to do, we're going to put a jack under the transfer case here, or something somewhere here, and see if we can lift it up far enough to get that mount out of position without dropping this cross member section. Because if you need to drop that out, we need to take out a whole heap more bolts. Not that much, it's 2 there, same both sides, these 2 bolts, and then that whole center cross member section. If you were taking the transmission out, you'd have to drop that down. I'm not 100% sure how hard it is to fit this mount, so this video is more about telling you, because I haven't had to change one of these before. This is the first one, and I don't even have to change it because Mitch is changing it. Maybe some safety glasses, mate. You know, I'm always telling you wear safety glasses, aren't I? What did I say, mate? Don't get stuff in your eyes. You getting stuff in your eyes? Well, you should be.
Really.
Look at all this stuff on the ground here, you know. I told you the bush, I washed it, but I knew the bush would be coming out. That's looking like a broken transmission mount. All right, so that's all clear. So what we've got to do now is we can probably take a little bit of weight off the transmission by putting the jack under there and then start loosening the bolt. So let's get a jack in position, eh? Okay, so for people still watching that asked in the other video, this jack base looks really cool. What's one of those? Where do you get one of those? This is the Pack off-road jack base, and that's where you get them from, whoever sells them or them direct on their website. I haven't got a discount code for that one yet, but I should probably ask him for one. Anyway, I've used it a few times for different things, mainly other people. What it's really good for is giving that bit extra height on the factory jack, which goes quite high. Does the job. That's all I carry. You know, travel light. But so it gives you the extra height, but it gives you the stability, because you imagine putting this in a bit of dirt or sand, it's really not going to be that stable. So that's what this thing's for, right? Sorry about the camera work. I'm upside down, back to front, left-handed and all that sort of thing. Yeah, there's plenty of grass still up in there, isn't there? Feel free to pull that out after we finish this job. Leave it for now because we just sort of cleaned up our mess. Anyway, right? So it gives it a lot of stability. That's really good, right? But what we want here is I want some extra support when that jack hits the transfer case. So what I'm actually going to do, it's quite stable here. So I'm going to do similar to what we did in the bush. We had 2 of these. I'm going to put that there where it's stable. I'll turn it your way, Mitch. You can start turning that, get this to come up. And what we're probably going to do is do something like park. If I can, I'm going to park that up there like that, and we're going to jack against the bottom of that. So let's get in position and I'll show you what I mean. So we've got the standard jack in place with a Pack off-road jack base. Sits actually really nice around that engine mount, and it's got the bit of rubber there. And we've lined this up right in the center. So what I want to do is just take a little bit of weight on it. So Mitch, wind it a little bit, wind it up. Keep going, I'll tell you when to stop. You just keep it nice and straight, keep winding it like that. I can see it's going up. If it feels really hard to wind all of a sudden, let me know and stop doing it, but you should be right. Keep going. going to squash into this rubber because that's a rubber mount there. So it's going to take, see it's starting to go up now. But we want to sort of get this up as far as we can, crush it into the car a bit because we need to get, because of that white thing there, we need to get that out of the hole. So it could be a bit of a fiddle. I don't know if it's going to work out. We might have to end up pulling these other bolts out, but we'll just see. Is it still pretty easy? Still going up?
Yeah.
Okay, that'll do for now. Leave it at that. Let's undo these 8 bolts on the engine mount and then we'll see what happens. We'll let you know. Okay, so we jacked it up a little bit more, and after unbolting the 2 bolt holes in here, which would make sense so that it can come up. That's why I stopped jacking before. And you might be able to get this out. It's got about probably 10 mil jacking to go, but I can tell you the transmission's all the way up. I'm watching and listening to the point that when we're jacking it, I can see the car moving up. So if we keep jacking it, might or might not work, but it might damage something above the transmission transfer case. Unlikely, but it could. And if it's pushing the car up, it's certainly, it's not going to work. Well, it shouldn't work. It's not going to work. So we're going to drop this cross member down. But instead of undoing all these ones as well, we're just going to undo the 2 front ones at each side and the bolts at each side. You could even probably just drop 1 bolt out. So we'll drop those out, drop this down, and bada bing, bada boom. The other one. Information for everybody. You might want to pull your cross member bolts out and put some grease on those. Have a look at those. You might even want to replace them first. I might buy some new ones for this one. They're looking terrible on your nuts and bolts. That's just the ones that hold the cross member in. But as you can see, it's coming out. All right, Mitch, give that a wiggle. Hey, watch out, it doesn't hit you in the head. There it is. Now we're all clear to get our last 4 bolts, 2 at this side, 2 at that side, and bring this half broken rear transmission mount off for replacement. 483,000 Ks of the heaviest duty Australian outback and rough tracks off-roading, front and rear locked included at times, over many years, 18-year-old vehicle before it could only break one side. Bloody Toyota components, so bloody good. But look, you can see those lines on that side. But even we jacked it up really hard and that didn't break. So it just goes to show how much pressure it actually takes, how good the rubber is and how well it adheres to the materials. There's the part number for those people that want to replace theirs. It's about $100, 100 and something anyway, from Australia. Support your local Toyota dealer on this one because the weight of it, the cost of shipping, whatever deal you think you're going to get, when your part doesn't turn up and you experience bad customer service like I have from those overseas places, and it might sound good and look good and lots of you have been lucky so far, but just think twice. Is the saving really worth it? And when you haven't got any local dealers with parts left because you kept doing that, you'll be buggered. Anyway, there it is. There's the replacement. All we've got to do, looks the same to me. Looks like it's going to bolt up, no problem. Let's bolt up the new one, Mitch. You ready? Anyway, that's the old one. And there's the new one on the vehicle. Make sure you tighten up the bolts. I'll just use a 3/8 drive, just nice and hand tight as we can go, because I've got no idea of the torque specs or no access to it. Someone can put in the comments for those that care. Torque specs on the rear transmission insulator or mount to the transmission, and the bolts from the cross member to it, and these ones, whatever you want to put, whatever you can be bothered looking up. We're just going to lift this up now, put it back in position with the 4 bolts. Pretty straightforward. Put it back together the way you found it. Okay, so now what we've got is these bolts are in. I just put some Inox MX4 on all the nuts and bolts for now, but I might replace a couple of those bolts. I reckon it's worth it while I can, get some fresh ones. Anyway, they're tight, that's secured. The mounts up the transmission side are secured. These, we've loosened to line these. I call these the hang-ups because that's what you get hung up on when you're off-roading, so they drag on everything. You can see it'll be all polished up. But anyway, the hang-ups that support the cross member, you got to have them. You can't just get rid of them because otherwise things are just going to whack this instead of slide up to it. So it is support for that cross member. So yeah, tight, just don't forget all this stuff. And the last thing we got is we've got to stop there, Mitch, stop there, drop the mount down, which he's doing. Go back up again. I just wanted to show everyone. You're too quick, mate. You're too efficient. Just go back the other way. Keep going up, 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 up. See the pressure going onto the mount. So I just wanted to show everyone the gap that was there. Keep going, keep going. It's about to open up. That's it. All right, now slowly drop it down. basically that's where it would sit. It's got that big white locating knob there, but it's going to jump up and down if you don't put these little bolts in underneath, but hopefully they lined up. That looks good. All right, leave it at that in case we do need to jack it and adjust it, but hopefully we can get those 4 bolts started and call it a day. All right, there it is, new engine mount done, everything secured, all bolts in and tight. Bada bing, bada boom, pretty easy job, but takes a bit longer than you think, especially on the ground. We're getting to learn a bit of on the ground, because where we are at the moment, we can just do it on the ground. And it wasn't urgent, it didn't need to be done, it didn't stop the vehicle, it wasn't anything urgent, but I thought, I've got a mount, I'll put on a mount, so it's done. And now we're going to move on to a quick oil change in another video, so subscribe, turn the bell on if you want to see that. It's going to be all the problems you could come across if you're doing DIY oil changes. Catch you on that one, see ya.